We all have the ability to be successful. And while it's common knowledge that a great education, valuable skills, and strong relationships are pivotal to success, there are actually some fundamental beliefs, perspectives, and disciplines that will dramatically increase your chances for success regardless of your education and skills. Take this journey with me as I share what I've learned and we learn more together to achieve success beyond your wildest dreams.
The Life I Deserve, sharing creative ideas, inspirational stories, and fresh perspectives that will empower you to live your life to the fullest. And now, here's your host, Adrian McMillian.
Welcome to The Life I Deserve. This show was designed to help you identify your passion and figure out how to pursue that passion. Here's a quote that I learned from Jack Canfield on finding your passion and your purpose in life. Don't ask what the world needs. Identify what makes you come alive, and then go do that, because what the world needs is people who come alive. The Life I Deserve project was designed to help you come alive. Join me as I help you to discover your passion and then determine how to pursue your passion. I also want to help you to enhance your health, grow your wealth, and to fill your life with happiness. Subscribe to the podcast and stay tuned as we explore these different areas. Health. I will share ideas, perspectives, and interviews on how to enhance your physical, mental, and spiritual health. My favorite exercise is dancing. For several years, I've been very involved in salsa dancing and other types of dances that you would find in a salsa club like bachata and cha-cha. I love all types of dances. I started taking West Coast swing classes a few years ago, and then I got busy with other things and stopped the West Coast swing. But I really enjoyed it, and I really need to work more West Coast into my life. Wealth. I will share information, insights, and opportunities that may help you to increase your income and increase your return on investments. I grew up in San Leon, Texas, which is between Houston and Galveston. I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters. We didn't have much money growing up, but we did have very caring parents. Through many years of study and hard work, I am now a director of technology for a major motion picture company in Los Angeles, California. However, the true path to financial freedom is passive income. I discovered the power of rental properties about 15 years ago. I bought my first property on Halloween Day in 2002 in beautiful Santa Monica, California. I have learned a great deal in the last 15 years, and I've developed a strategy that works very well for me. Stay tuned for future episodes in which I share more about my experiences and strategies in real estate investing. Happiness. I will share insights and perspectives that will help you to discover your passions and empower you with the skills, resources, and support to pursue your passions. Happiness can be an elusive pursuit. What makes one person happy can be drastically different from another person. And for each of us, the source of happiness changes over time. To make the happiness pursuit even more complex, it is heavily impacted by our past and associations that we made. True happiness is often connected with helping, reaching out, and connecting with others. It's human nature to help our brothers and sisters. I believe happiness must be a shared experience, because if we only look out for our own happiness, we will end up empty. What makes me happy besides dancing? I love spending time with my family, spending time with my beautiful girlfriend, visiting my dad, creating memories with my sisters and brothers, and of course I love spending time with my amazing and talented nieces and nephews. I also love catching up with friends, I enjoy tropical vacations, and I really love helping people. So how can we all take our happiness to the next level? And how can we spread that happiness to the people we love and care about. Listen to upcoming shows as I interview experts in this area. Listen to this entire episode as I share with you a powerful formula that will help you to take control of your life. Also, I will share with you a story that has impacted me and my view of the world, and I have no doubt that it will impact you as well.
Questions, comments, compliments?
The Life I Deserve is here for you. Please let me know what type of topics you'd like for me to research, what kind of people you'd like for me to interview, or if you have something valuable to share. Let me know. If you have any knowledge, insights, perspectives that can help people to improve their health, wealth, or happiness, please reach out to me. Visit thelifeideserve.com and send me email or voicemail. From the website, click on the Contact tab. You'll see a button that will allow you to record voicemail, or if you'd rather leave email, just fill in the form just below the voicemail button. I really do want to hear from you, and yes, I do mean you. Reach out. Let me know what's on your mind. Let me know how I can help you. Or maybe you have an inspirational story or thought that you'd like to share. I really do want to hear from you. Just go to thelifeideserve.com and then click on the Contact tab. Jack Canfield is known as America's #1 success coach. He is the founder of the billion-dollar book brand Chicken Soup for the Soul, a leading authority on peak performance and life success. So how did I discover Jack Canfield? While in college, I got a job at the NASA Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. I was extremely excited. As a staff member of the Scientific and Technical Research Library, I worked hard to prove myself. And I was humbled by the fact that some people I met would literally leave Earth for a space mission. I mean, what made the difference between a person doing a job they dread and a person living their dream as an astronaut? Looking for clues, I noticed that many people in the library would put themselves on a waiting list for a particular set of videos. Out of curiosity, I added myself to this waiting list. After several months, it was my turn to check out these coveted videos. The videos were by Jack Canfield. They were titled Self-Esteem and Peak Performance. I watched the videos. Despite the fact that the videos were already several years old, everything Jack talked about in these videos made perfect sense to me. The lessons were timeless, and the concepts were simple but powerful. Before watching these videos, I had no idea why some people seemed to be on the easy road to success, while others seemed to be heading down a dead-end road. Watching the videos, I realized that I would be able to accomplish anything by reprogramming how I think and react to my world. Those videos were the beginning of a new life for me. It's amazing how small changes in the way you approach life can dramatically change your world. This is the reason for the life I deserve. I invite you to take this journey with me. I invite you to try new ways of thinking and new ways of being that may help you to become the person you want to be for yourself and for the people you care about. Over the next several months, I will evolve the life I deserve into a medium for sharing, learning, and growing together. Please feel free to share your thoughts, suggestions, comments, and questions. If I can help even one person in a significant way, this project and the effort involved with this project will all be worthwhile. We are all trying to navigate our way through life. Working together, we will not only survive, but we will thrive. Last November, I went to Houston to visit my family for Thanksgiving with my beautiful girlfriend. For some time, I had been trying to figure out the next steps to take in my life. During that trip, I remembered it was Jack Canfield's teachings that significantly impacted my life years ago. Maybe I should meet Jack in person. Maybe I should go to one of his events. After discovering Jack Canfield years ago, I checked out other motivational speakers to see what I could learn from them. Zig Ziglar was another great inspiration. Zig was a Texan full of Texan personality and charm, and a great sense of humor. He would tell amazing, impactful, true stories. He also would sometimes tell fictitious stories that would either make a great point or inspire his audience with laughter. Here's one of Zig's funny, fictitious stories. A lady in Dallas went to see an attorney about her divorce. The attorney said, "Do you have any grounds?" "Why, yes," she said. "We have about 40 acres, right out here on the north end of town." He said, "Ma'am, that's not what I'm talking about. Do you have a grudge?" She said, "No, but we have a nice little carport out on the side of the house." He said, "Ma'am, does your husband ever beat you up?" "Oh, no," she said. "I'm up every day, at least an hour before he even turns over." He said, "Ma'am, do you accept any responsibility for these difficulties?" She said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, do you ever wake up grouchy?" She replied, "Oh, no, I just let him get up on his own." He said, "Well, why do you want a divorce?" She said, "He just can't communicate." I remember hearing about Zig's passing several years ago, and I remember thinking I should have seen him in person. Well, no more should-haves. I'm going to meet Jack Canfield. So I checked out the date and location for the next event. At the end of February in Newport Beach, Jack was teaching his Breakthrough to Success course. This course is based on his amazing book titled The Success Principles. Okay, end of February, that would work for me. Okay, now how much? $3,000. $3,000. Am I really going to get that much more out of meeting him in person? I decided to go to the gym, get a workout, and think about it. I worked out, I came back to my room, and I noticed that my binder was not on the nightstand where I usually put it. I searched everywhere. I went out to my car, I searched there. I looked for at least an hour. Then I started taking inventory in my head of the valuable items that were in my binder. A cashier's check for $2,500 from a real estate deal, then gift cards totaling $500. I had exactly $3,000 in my binder. I told myself, okay, if I lost the binder and the $3,000, it's not the end of the world. I'll deal with it. After more searching, I finally fell asleep. I woke up the next morning and somehow remembered exactly where I last placed my binder. I found my binder with all the contents inside, including the cashier's check and the gift cards. I take this as the universe's way of telling me I can afford the $3,000 to work directly with Jack Canfield. So I went online and I registered for Jack's Breakthrough to Success seminar. Ironically, it was the last day for the registration bonus, the early registration bonus that is, which was VIP status. VIP status meant even more time to spend with Jack. I've been to many real estate seminars, but never a true motivational seminar. So I really didn't know what to expect. The first night was only for the VIPs. I got there early. I spoke to some of the other VIPs. One girl I spoke with had been to several motivational seminars. A couple of them were from Anthony Robbins. She told me she really liked the Tony Robbins seminars, however, that nobody got to meet or spend time with Tony. Tony was on stage, then escorted backstage by bodyguards. Just after telling me that, she said, "Look, there's Jack." I turned around, and Jack Canfield was standing right behind me. He was speaking to someone, but as soon as he finished, he warmly said hi and greeted me. I introduced myself. I told him how he's already impacted my life, and I gave him the Life I Deserve business card. He read my card. The Life I Deserve. What a perfect name, Adrian. I spoke with Jack for a little while. Then I noticed that the girl who was sharing her motivational experiences with me earlier was waiting anxiously nearby, so I graciously introduced Jack to her and stepped away. The next morning, we all met in a big hotel ballroom. Music was playing, and the Jack Canfield team gave us all high fives as we entered the room. Jack laid out the logistics and had us sign a list of rules that we would abide by.
Really?
Arrive on time. Do all the homework. Sit in a different seat after each break. No alcohol until the end of the week. No new major decisions within 2 weeks after the course ends, and several other commitments. Jack explained each. Different seat each time to get us out of our comfort zone, so we would do the exercises with different people each time. That made sense. Alcohol, the prior night, or even the prior day, can affect our focus. And no major decisions for 2 weeks because, in Jack's words, people sometimes leave the course with a natural high. Jack had us sign the page if we agreed to all of the rules. Oh yeah, Jack also had us read every item aloud. He then had us all stand as an additional way to say that we agreed to these rules. Jack took his time to walk around to see if anybody was not standing, verify that everybody was going to play by these rules. Honestly, I've never experienced so many measures to have everybody keep their word. So a few days later in the seminar, while everyone was seated, Jack asked people to stand if they had broken any of the rules. I was a bit surprised, as about 80% of the attendees stood. I remained seated at first, anyway, but then I began to review in my head all that we promised. Okay, so one of the homework assignments was to think of 100 successes we've already had in our life. I think I only wrote down about 60. Yeah, so I stood. Apparently, we all need to work a little more diligently on keeping our word. The real lesson here is integrity. Integrity improves every aspect of our lives, especially with ourselves. We need to be able to tell ourselves that we're going to do something and follow through. Broken promises deteriorate relationships, and they also deteriorate our belief in ourselves. Silent hug process. Every day begin with different exercises, physically and mentally, to get into a state in which could help us to open up about our goals and our challenges, our self-image and fears. One great exercise was the silent hug process. I really didn't think I would get much out of this. I do a lot of dancing, I'm close with my family and friends. I really didn't feel like I was lacking human touch. However, Jack taught us how to hug.
Really?
Yeah. I know, it seems kind of silly. A lot of the exercises felt kind of silly at first. However, after years of acting and improv classes earlier in life, I realized sometimes you just have to let go, try the exercise, and commit to the process. In improv classes, I learned if you don't commit to the scene, it just feels awkward for everyone, you and the audience. All right, back to the hugs. Jack's guidelines for hugs. Left to left, so the hearts are closer in line. No talking, no fidgeting. Breathe. Make eye contact for a couple of seconds after, instead of trying to quickly run away. All right, time to give some hugs. After about 10 minutes, you feel an amazing amount of positive, loving energy in the room. It was a great way to start each morning. It enabled us all to feel a little more connected, which enabled everyone to share a little more. E plus R equals O. Have you ever heard someone say, "That person made me mad"? In reality, things happen. People do or say things we may not like. However, it's up to us to decide how to process whatever happens or whatever is said. Jack gives a great example of this. He'll pick on someone in the front row of his seminar. For example, he might say, "Look at Susan here. Can you believe her? She's dressed like she's going to a picnic. She's not dressed for a seminar. And boy, does she ask a lot of questions. Is she even listening?" After giving an example like this, Jack would ask, "How many people think this would make Susan feel bad?" People would raise their hands. He would then tell them this was actually a trick question, because in this example, only Susan has the ability to make Susan feel bad. Susan could say, I knew I should address differently. And she could say, yeah, I guess I'm asking a lot of questions. I guess I'm the only one not getting these concepts. Or Susan could say, Jack's just picking on me because he knows I'm confident. I mean, look at me. I'm in the front row and I ask all the questions that everybody else is afraid to ask. As a matter of fact, by the way Jack's looking at me, I bet he has a crush on me. The secret formula here, E plus R equals O, stands for event plus response equals outcome. You see, it's not the event alone that determines the outcome. It's not what Jack says to Susan that determines the outcome or how she feels. It's what Susan says to herself afterwards that determines the outcome. This is just a quick example of this powerful concept. I will go into greater depth on this in future episodes. There were many great lessons, and I think everyone became clearer on their life purpose, their goals, and the necessary actions to get to those goals. For me, the most powerful exercise was the Come As You'll Be party. This was the final exercise, in which everyone was to attend a cocktail party as if it were 5 years into the future. As for the people I talked with at the Come As You'll Be party, I think Philippe Franz had to be the most prepared. He had a copy of his book, the custom cover had great detail, he was dressed in a tux, and he discussed in detail how successful he was and how he gives back to the world. I would provide more detail on Philippe Franz's Come As You'll Be image, but I think I was preoccupied. In my mind, I was thinking maybe my goal should be more aggressive. So where was I for this 5 years into the future party? Well, I had sold over 1 million copies of my book, The Life I Deserve. I think Philippe Franz has sold 100 million copies of his book. I speak internationally. I was recently interviewed by Oprah Winfrey, and I've been invited to do a TED Talk. I have a 4,000 square foot house in Santa Barbara, California. Same town as Jack, how convenient. As a matter of fact, we occasionally meet for lunch and brainstorm on ways to help more people in the world. Also, I have a 3,000 square foot house in Maui, where I frequently entertain family and friends. And of course, we do a lot of dancing. I travel the world speaking and training on how each person can achieve the life they deserve. The Come As You'll Be party is powerful because we all have a mental image of ourselves, and we do things unconsciously to support that image. If your image of yourself is 30 pounds overweight, you will quickly get back to that weight, no matter how great the diet. If your image of yourself is making $75,000 a year, it will be extremely difficult to ever make over $100,000. At the Come As You'll Be party, we spent about 2 hours with an image that we were each very successful. We talked in detail about our businesses, investments, books, vacations, and philanthropic activities. After the party was over, you want to take the actions to make it a reality. Rule of 5. Ever since I listened to Jack Canfield's self-esteem and peak performance videos years ago, I knew about the Rule of 5. A simple concept. In summary, we should each perform 5 actions every day to move us toward a breakthrough goal. A breakthrough goal would be a goal that would really impact your life. A goal that would be so significant that not only meeting it would positively influence your life, but also the pursuit of it would transform you into a better person. The Rule of 5 is such a simple concept that I overlooked how great it could work. You see, normally we think of our end goal and we break it down into different tasks that need to be done, and we set a date for each of these items. Those items may take a month, they may take a couple of months, maybe they take a few weeks. The Rule of 5, however, forces you, if you're disciplined about it, to get things done every day. It doesn't matter if they are tiny steps. The Rule of 5 works well because it keeps the momentum going. If you're writing a book, for example, which happens to be my breakthrough goal, you must come up with 5 things you can do toward that goal. You could study someone's work who you admire. You could add some items to the outline for your book. You could do a little research on one of those items. And at the end of the day, if you don't have 5 things that you've accomplished, you push yourself to come up with the additional items. Since I took the Breakthrough to Success course, I'm happy to report that I've been implementing the Rule of 5 every day. Overall, the Breakthrough to Success experience was amazing. I've learned many great skills from Jack, which have already made a big impact in my life. I highly recommend this training. If nothing else, at least buy Jack's book, The Success Principles. Or if you're like me and you'd rather have a narrator with an amazing voice read you the book, while driving or on the treadmill, you can get the audio version instead. Just visit thelifeideserve.com and then go to the Resources tab. From there, you'll find links to the Success Principles book and audiobook. Please use the links from my website, as they will help to support the show. The price to you is exactly the same as going directly to Amazon. However, going through the website will provide a very small commission, which does help to keep the show going. I sincerely appreciate your support. Teaching is the best way to learn. Since the Breakthrough to Success Week, I'm happy to announce that I've decided to become an official Jack Canfield trainer. I'm very excited to be taking this journey. I'm confident that working with Jack and his training program will empower me with the tools and skills to be even more instrumental in helping people discover their passion, set goals, overcome obstacles, and build the life that they deserve. I'm going to leave you with a story that I heard Jack tell. This story was part of my inspiration to create the life I deserve. Susanna Crowder was a homeless person living on the street in a city in Ohio. It was winter and she was 8 months pregnant. She didn't feel that she had the capacity to take care of herself, much less a newborn baby. She was extremely depressed. She was also not in a good mental state. She wasn't taking her medication, and she had to dig in dumpsters for food. She was basically trying to survive just long enough to give birth to the baby. After that, she was planning to kill herself. She had already planned how she would throw herself in front of a train that came by every day at a certain time. When it was really cold, Susanna would seek shelter in a local library. However, this library would kick people out if they weren't reading or buying books. One day, she went into the library to get out of the freezing cold. She walked by a table of books. Susanna said, "I just grabbed one and I went into a corner where nobody would bother me." It happened to be the very first Chicken Soup for the Soul book. She randomly opened the book to a story called Puppies for Sale. It was a story about a little boy who saw a sign outside of a store. The sign said, "Puppies for Sale." The little boy went in and asked to see the puppies. The guy abruptly whistles to the back, and someone brings out a box. The little boy peeked over the edge of the box to get a view of the puppies. "How much are you asking for the puppies?" The man replied, $20 to $50, depends on the dog." The little boy replied, "I've only got $3.28, as he pulled out a few loose bills and loose change and plopped them on the counter. "But I'll pay you 50 cents a week until it's paid in full." The man admired the little boy's tenacity. The man asked, "Which puppy do you want?" "I want that one," the boy said, as he pointed to a puppy who was limping. The man said, "Oh, you don't want that one. He has a damaged hip socket. He'll never be able to jump, run, and play like the other puppies." "Well, that's the one I want," the boy said. "Kid, are you listening?" "He'll never be able to play like the others," the man replied. The little boy continued, "Well, that's the one I want." The man replied, "Well, kid, you can have that one for free." The little boy said, "No, I want to pay full price for him. That puppy is just as valuable as the other puppies." The man replied, "Kid, why would you want to pay full price for that puppy?" At that moment, the boy reached down to pull up his left pant leg, revealing his badly twisted left leg, which was in a brace. "You see, mister, I figured that puppy is going to need someone who understands him." As Susanna read the story, she got goosebumps, and she said to herself, "If someone could love that puppy with his brokenness, perhaps someone could love me with my brokenness." And at that moment, she decided not to kill herself. At that moment, she left the library and went to a mental health center. She got back on her medication. And in the course of a year, she got out of that situation. She got a job. She bought a house. And she started something called Soup Kitchens for the Souls, where she not only feeds people, but she teaches people the skills to become self-sufficient. And she still runs that foundation to this very day. This story really resonates with me. Did it resonate with you? If so, please let me know. Visit the contact page on thelifeideserve.com and send me a voicemail or email. You see, we all have the power to inspire and to make a difference in someone's life. What difference will you make? Okay, now it's time for something a little different.
It's trivia time.
Jack Canfield holds the Guinness Book World Record for having 7 books simultaneously on the New York Times bestseller list. However, it took determination to get there. In 1993, Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen approached publishers with the very first Chicken Soup for the Soul book. Today's trivia question: how many no's did Jack and Mark get before a publisher said, "Yes, I'll publish your book"? Send your answer from the website, thelifeideserve.com. From the website, you can leave voicemail or email. Just click on the Contact tab. Again, today's trivia question: how many no's did Jack get before publishing Chicken Soup for the Soul? Go to thelifeideserve.com to submit your answer. Well, that's going to do it for today's show. My mission is to inspire and empower those that I encounter to live full and meaningful lives by sharing lessons learned, tools for self-improvement, and life-changing perspectives. I'm starting a journey to pursue a better me, to inspire a better you, and to help influence a better world. Subscribe to the podcast so we can take this journey together.
Thanks for listening. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to live a passionate, fulfilling life. Subscribe to the podcast so we can take this journey together. A journey of sharing, learning, and growing. A journey to the life you deserve.
Thanks again for listening to The Life I Deserve. This podcast was designed for you, designed to enhance your health, grow your wealth, and to fill your life with happiness. Visit thelifeideserve.com and send me a voicemail or email. Let me know something about you. What inspires you? What advice do you have? How can I help you? Do you have a suggestion on how I can improve the show? Just let me know. And if you happen to just love the show, please post a review in iTunes. Thanks again. Love you all. Until next time, goodbye.